But you know what, man? It's time to rev it up. Yes, the sound of crunch time. It means that Coach and I are going to be picking 10 games, going back and forth. Coach, last time we actually had quite a decent week. I went 6-4, you went 5-5, much better than the week prior. However, you are still sitting a hefty 13 games under 500, but that is okay. Everything can improve. We have another 10 games this week, my man. Are you ready?
Ready as always, Iceman. Let's fire it up.
All right, we are starting. Number 1, Georgia versus Florida in the biggest cocktail party ever, or whatever it's called. Georgia is a 14.5-point favorite in Jacksonville. Florida, as we've said, is kind of a little bit of a weird team. Georgia, without Brock Bowers, I still feel like Georgia is going to play well in this game and take care of business. So give me Georgia with 14.5.
I feel like Brock Bowers has bailed the Bulldogs out of a lot of bad situations, and they're not going to have that safety net now. It's a rivalry game. I'm with the Gators, man, plus 14.5.
All right, this is a game I'm really intrigued by. BYU traveling to Texas, who is going to be playing without Quinn Ewers, I believe. Texas is a 17.5-point favorite against BYU. I feel like this is a little bit of a misleading spread because I think BYU is going to come in here smelling the upset. So you know what? Give me a close game. Give me BYU to be a little bit further closer than 17.5.
No, I agree with you here, Iceman. Texas is they're going to trip up at some point in time against a lesser opponent. I mean, I guess you could say they had a close call against Wyoming earlier in the season. But with Quinn Ewers out and the Cougars coming to town, I will take BYU plus 17.5.
Number 8, Oregon, traveling to number 13, Utah. Oregon is a 7-point favorite heading into this game. They played a little bit of a closer game against Washington State, and Utah had that big upset against USC. This is one of those games, though, where I feel like Utah is going to be riding high. Oregon really needs to establish himself again after playing a close game against Wazoo. So give me Oregon to win by more than 7.
Guess I'm just on the dogs this week because I like Utah at home. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I think they're going to make a ball game of it. I'll take the Utes plus 7.
Number 19, Air Force, traveling to Colorado State. Air Force is a 12-point favorite on the road. They just had a really, really tight game with Navy, who slowed the game down, and they're without their quarterback. A 12-point spread for Air Force seems a little bit high. Colorado State is a team that played Colorado very, very close. I think they're going to be up for this game. I think Colorado State is going to make it close, so give me Colorado State here.
I'm not too concerned about Air Force based on the result of the Navy game. We kind of speculated it might be that kind of a game. Yes, they're without their starting quarterback, but I still think they're a very good football team, which is why I'm going to lay that 12 points and take the Falcons.
Our team, Colorado, traveling to number 23, UCLA. UCLA is a 17-point favorite here. Colorado is in need of establishing themselves, and UCLA is trying to get a little bit of momentum back. I feel like Chip Kelly is going to be up to the task here, and even though 17 points is a very, very high spread, I just think that UCLA has a little bit too much offensive potency for the very porous Colorado defense, so give me UCLA to cover.
UCLA has some quarterback issues, right? They pulled Dante Moore. They got the other dude in there whose name I don't know, don't care. Colorado has got to keep coming out and putting their best foot forward, as cliche as that sounds. They have to come out and try to put good performances together to try to get this thing rolling and build that winning culture. So I'm going to take Colorado plus 17.
For the battle for Virginia, Old Dominion traveling to number 25, James Madison, who, by the way, is not eligible for the postseason. JMU is a 19.5-point favorite at home. I've seen Old Dominion play in person. Their offense was not very good. James Madison is an exciting team that nobody's talking about, so give me the Dukes to cover.
It's an absolute travesty that James Madison cannot participate in the postseason at all. I think that's absurd. They have a very good football team. They've had an impressive transition to the FBS level. And I think they keep showing out this week. Give me JMU minus 19.5.
And this game is for you, Coach. The Streak Breakers, the UMass Minutemen, are traveling to West Point to face Army. This game matters 0 in the national spotlight. Army is a 9.5-point favorite at home. I have a little bit of a soft spot for UMass because of the fact that they broke the streak for you. 9.5 is a lot for Army. Army is going to run the ball a lot. You know what? Give me UMass in an upset.
I don't know, man. Going to Army, I'm playing Army at West Point, kind of a unique atmosphere, maybe a little bit of a distraction, getting caught up in the nostalgia of the place. So I'm going to take Army minus 9.5.
Switching to the NFL, the New England Patriots, coming off that huge win against the Buffalo Bills, are traveling to Miami, where the Dolphins are licking their wounds after getting absolutely clawed by the Eagles. The Dolphins are 9.5-point favorites at home. The Patriots, I think, are not as good as that win would indicate. The Dolphins are going to beat the crap out of them, so give me the Dolphins minus 9.5.
Oh, this is a tough one because I always like the wounded dog, right? The Dolphins coming off a tough loss, but they're also it's also on a short week. A little bit. No, they played Sunday night, not last night. Scratch that. Forget it, man. I'm with Belichick and the boys. Maybe Bailey Zappi will get on the field. Patriots plus 9.5.
And another game that doesn't matter a lick, but is just fun, the battle for the Meadowlands. The Jets at the Giants, technically, although they both play in the same stadium. Zach Wilson looking to get above 500. The Giants have quarterback issues with Daniel Jones being out, but Tyrod Taylor got the win this past week. The Jets, I believe, are 3-point favorites on the road. I actually like the Jets here. I think that they're going to be above 500 because the Giants just can't seem to put it together.
You know what? I'm going to throw a little bow no cleave here, man. I'm going to take the Jets. It's at -3, +3. I don't care. Either way. I'll take a -3 even if they're +3. Jets -3.
And last, the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to San Francisco to face the 49ers, who just lost a primetime game against Kirk Cousins, of all people. The 49ers are 5.5-point favorites at home. Joey Burr needs a win. The 49ers desperately need a win. Brock Purdy has come down to earth. They have some injuries. I feel like the Bengals are going to take this one, so give me the Bengals to steal this game in San Francisco.
49ers are back home, sleeping in their own beds after what I'm guessing was 2 weeks spent somewhere in the Midwest, which would be difficult on anybody, trust me. So I don't know, man. They got to get back on track. I'm going to take the Niners and lay the 5.5.
All right, those are all 10 games. We went a little bit different direction here, but this is not an exact science, so we're just picking who we think. And honestly, I'm going with my gut. I'm doing no research on this whatsoever, and that's kind of the whole point. Is it's fast, it's furious, and it's uninformed, and that's really what we do best around here.
Yeah, you like how I literally thought through my whole pick of which one was it? The Patriots, Dolphins. Like I hadn't even considered who I was picking until you read it, and I just talked through my entire process right there out loud. So I apologize for that. But no, it was a lot of fun. It's always a blast.